All right, shalawam. First off, I want to say all praises to Yahawashi and Yahawashi. Double honors to the apostles and elders of GMS. And shalawam to the elect out there pushing the word in sincerity and in truth. All right, this is GMS Precepts. All right, and the first scripture I'm going to get into is in Baruch, 4th chapter. And I'm going to start at the 29th verse. Okay? You know what? I'll start at the 28th verse. Okay? And I'm going to precept that with a couple scriptures. All right? So I'm going to start at verse 28. Baruch 4:28. It says, For as it was your mind to go astray from the Most High, so being returned, seek him 10 times more. Right? And that's going into what? Us being Israel, us being the sons of the Most High. Right? A curse that was put upon Israel was that we were gonna go astray from our heritage. All right, but now the Most High had allowed that knowledge of Israel, the knowledge of the name of the Most High, us being sons of the Most High, right, and the white man known as Esau in the scriptures being the devil. All that knowledge was brought to us again. Okay, so knowing that we're chosen by the Most High, okay, to be his special seed, we're supposed to seek, as being an Israelite man. I'm talking to you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and natives. All right, it's our duty to what? To seek the Most High 10 times more. Okay, that's our duty, because he had opened our minds to the fact to know the truth. All right, now 29th verse, it says, For he that hath brought these plagues upon you shall bring you everlasting joy again with your salvation. Right, so the same person that brought these plagues or these curses upon Israel, okay, it's him that's gonna be able to deliver us from those troubles and plagues. Okay, I'm gonna precept that with a scripture in Isaiah 42 verse 24. Okay, and it reads, Who gave Jacob for a spoil and Israel to the robbers? I'll read it again. It says, Who gave Jacob for a spoil and Israel to the robbers? Right, that's going into Israel. That's going into you Israelites, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and natives. Who gave Israel for a spoil? Who gave Jacob for a spoil and Israel to the robbers? That's going into us being in captivity under these other nations. All right, it was the Most High that did it. Why? Because it was already told already, going back to Deuteronomy, the 20th chapter. If we don't follow the laws, statutes, commandments that he gave to us, one of the curses was we would be in subjection under these other nations, and that's what's happening until this day. Okay, and it says, well, it's going to further explain it in the scripture. It says, Who gave Jacob for a spoil and Israel to the robbers? Did not the Lord, he against whom we have sinned? Right, it says, For they would not walk in his ways, neither were they obedient unto his law. So it's telling you right there, it was the most. So the so-called white man wants to think that he's, so superior and stronger than us, which is how he was able to take us over. But that's not the case. The case was, as a whole, Israel, talking to you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and natives, we didn't follow those laws, statutes, commandments that were given to us, so we fell victim to the curses that was written in the Bible. And one of those many curses were we were going to be under subjection under these other nations. Okay? So it reads, verse 30, Baruch 4:30, it says, Take a good heart, O Jerusalem, for he that gave thee that name will comfort thee. Right? And Jerusalem, all right, which in the Hebrew is Yerushalayim, which is people of peace. It was the Most High that gave us that name, okay, because Jerusalem was a people before it's a place, all right, or city of peace, excuse me. It says, For he that gave thee that name will comfort thee. Right? Verse 31, it says, miserable are they that afflicted thee and rejoice at thy fall. Right? It says, miserable are they that afflicted thee and rejoice at thy fall. And that's going into these other nations, because these other nations, they were able to succeed or triumph in our downfall. Okay? But guess what? That's going to be to their detriment, because the Most High is going to bring judgment on them too. All right? But that's all part of the curses as well in Deuteronomy. When it says, the 68th verse, it says, no man shall buy you. Okay? And that word buy in Old English means save. So no man shall save you, or no other nation shall save you. Okay? Out of the captivity that we're in. Now, as far as this is, it says, miserable are they that afflicted thee and rejoice at thy fall. All these other nations are rejoicing at thy fall of Israel, because they know that if you so-called the Israelites, or you so-called Negroes or teams and natives, are not in well favor with the Most High, okay, then it's their time or their turn to be on top and succeed and have blessings. Okay, but it's gonna, like I just said, it's gonna be to their detriment, because that's gonna be all taken away from them very soon, because the next kingdom or the next mountain that's gonna be on top, or the next ruling nation, is Israel. Okay, thus said the Bible. Now I'm gonna precept that with Lamentations 2:15. It reads, all that pass by clap their hands at thee. They hiss and wag their head at the daughter of Jerusalem, saying, is this the city that men call the perfection of beauty, the joy of the whole earth? And that's what these other nations do or think when they see the state of Israel, when they go in the ghettos, because it's them that, like for instance, Moab and Ammon and all those, Asian nations, right? Their thing is, when they come over here, within 1 year, they open up they open up a Chinese spot and a laundromat. That's their big thing in the ghetto, in our neighborhoods. So the natural thing for them to do is to look down on Israel. Like, look, I just came here for a year and I'm able to open up my own business. Look at these niggas. Well, what are these niggas doing? Not knowing, once again, not knowing that's part of the curses put upon Israel. All right. So they look down at Jerusalem or Israel. Okay, you so-called niggas, Latinos, and natives. But guess what? It says what? Verse 31, it says, miserable are they that afflicted thee and rejoice at thy fall, because these other nations are taking advantage. That's why it tells you in the gospel, the parable of Lazarus, it says the dog licked thy wounds. That's these other nations taking advantage of our downfall. But that's going to be to their detriment, because the Most High is going to flip that just as easily as he made them be able to take advantage or lick our wounds. The Most High is going to flip that. All right. And all other nations on the planet Earth, all nations on the planet Earth will be in servitude or subjection onto Israel. You so-called Negroes, Latinos, and natives. Okay. And that's coming very soon. All right. It says, I'll just finish up with this last verse. It says, miserable are the cities which thy children served. Miserable is she that received thy sons. Okay. And that's going into what these other nations, and that top nation is America. Because it's here in America, a lot of Jake, they like to think that being in America, it's they don't realize that being here in America was to our detriment. It was basically a punishment to serve. It was a time to serve our punishment. See, America isn't a place for us to succeed and go ahead in society. It's a place to serve our punishment. And our punishment is almost up, according to prophecy, according to the Bible. Okay? And America, according to the Bible, is going to be destroyed by thermonuclear missiles. So and that time's coming very soon. Okay? So it's high time for Israel to wake up out of sleep. Thus said the Bible. All right? That's that. GMS Precepts. Shalawam.